Good evening everyone, and welcome to a special bonus video of Gundam news. We all knew that we were getting a new Gundam anime eventually, but I don't think we were expecting that eventually was already going to be January 17th, 2025. And after getting over the name of this new Gundam anime, the more details I saw, the more faith I got in it. But like seriously, what is this? Gundam G-Quax? It's like someone just slammed their face on the keyboard and went like, yep, this is it. And if you look at the Japanese, it's supposed to be pronounced as G-Quax, which I don't think makes things much more exciting. So maybe we should go with something like GQuuuuuX to make things a bit more edgy. Also, if this anime does end up being bad, I know what I'm titling my video on that. And my bewilderment only increased when I saw the design of the main Gundam, which is the titular G-Quax. Unique is a word that came to mind, and the legs have some very interesting things going on, but it's just not my style, which is something that my wallet was very happy about. But then I saw the Nod Zaku appear on screen, which I do think is really cool. So I'll probably end up getting the G-Quax anyways to display it alongside the Nod Zaku. So, the G-Quax. It is a mysterious, state-of-the-art mobile suit, and its pilot is Amate Yuzuriya, better known as Machu. So after Witch from Mercury, we are getting another female protagonist. She is just your average high school girl who is living in the colonies, but she's always felt like there was something fake about this peaceful life. Partially in the sense that she's living in a fake colony world with fake skies, fake gravity, and fake seas, but seemingly also in the sense that her peaceful life was a lie. This then gets exposed once she encounters the Gundam, and she gets dragged into clan battles. An illegal mobile suit dueling sport where dying just seems to be part of the game. But don't worry, they are using the most famous rule from G Gundam in these clan battles.
Article 1 of the Gundam Fight International Regulations. A unit whose head section has been destroyed is disqualified.
And so, Machu joins a team called the Pomeranians. Not exactly a name I was expecting for a team participating in mobile suit death battles. But anyways, the other characters that we know about are Shuji Ito, a mysterious graffiti artist who is wanted by the military police and who participates in the clan battles for money. He also has this robot spider / crab thingy on his head called Conchi, and he becomes Machu's Mav.
Okay, man, let's turn and burn.
This word isn't explained yet, and while it sounds like it just means partner, in the trailer they're also talking about being a real Mav, so I wonder if there's gonna be something more special about it. And the third character that we know about then is Nyan. Again, a very cute name for an anime with a seemingly very dark premise. And her backstory is also quite dark. Her home colony suddenly got caught up in a conflict, so she and her family had to flee. But for an as of yet unknown reason, they couldn't escape together. Maybe they got separated in a confusion, or maybe the fighting broke out while she was at school, or doing something else away from home. Whatever the case might be, she didn't have the luxury to go looking for her family, and she managed to escape the colony in a small mobile suit. She then got picked up by a ship, which dropped her off at the colony, where our story takes place. And understandably, her top priority is to survive. So far, so fair enough. But what really got me pumped then was the trailer. I would go as far as saying that it was simply perfect. I immediately fell in love with its atmosphere. The song that plays throughout it is phenomenal, and it goes really well with the background imagery that are presented with it. For the most part, it's like dusk and nightscapes with some really cool lighting going on. Like seriously, this alone was enough to get me hyped for the anime. But then we combine it with some really fluid animation on both the characters and the mobile suits, and I think we get a trailer that just knocks it out of the park. Again, I want to stress just how good the mobile suits look. It does seem to be 3D CG animation, but it blends in with the rest, as opposed to something like Gundam Seed Freedom. And when we look at the people involved in this project, it's really not a surprise that I am so pumped about it. The director is Kazuya Tsurumaki, famous as the director for Fooly Cooly and the rebuild of Evangelion movies. The music is done by Yoshimasu Terui and Masayuki Hasuo, with the former being famous for the Jujutsu Kaisen score. The mechanical design is by Ikuto Yamashita, who designed the Evangelions and recently worked on Metaphor ReFantasio. The character design is by Take, famous for doing the character designs of the latest Pokemon games. And last but not least, the writers are Yoji Enokido and Hideaki Anno. As a mech fan, Anno probably needs no introduction. He's the man from Evangelion. And Yoji Enokido is equally distinguished. He wrote the scripts for shows like Sailor Moon, Evangelion, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Fooly Cooly, Raxaphon, etc. And the overall production of the anime will be handled by a collaboration between Sunrise and Studio Khara, the successor to Gainax, founded by Anno himself. For the voice actors then, Machu is voiced by Tomoyo Kurosawa, who did Rebecca in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Nyan is voiced by Yui Ishikawa, who did China Kosuka in Gundam Build Fighters, and Shuji Ito by Shimba Tsuchiya, who did Tsutomu Goshiki in Haikyuu. So we have quite the collection of heavy hitters that were assembled for this anime. Usually, I'm carefully optimistic about upcoming things, but right now, I am feeling really good about this. As for when we're getting it, we don't have a real release date yet, but it's probably gonna be very soon. The first episodes will be edited into a movie called G-Quax Beginnings, which will get a cinematic release in Japan on January the 17th. And then at an as of yet unspecified time, the anime itself will be broadcast in Japan and will also be released abroad. Although there's no word yet on which platforms it's going to be on. So for more details, we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, and one thing that I didn't catch until editing this video was that during one of the fights from the trailer, Machu was fighting against things that were almost identical to the bits from the Elmeth. And that's not the only UC reference that we see. We have a Heat Hawk, a Haro, that Zaku-esque mobile suit, the colony looks like a UC colony, and the conflict that Nyan was running from could very well be the Grips War. So while I do feel that the design of the main Gundam is a bit too different to be a UC series, I'm not excluding the possibility. And there have also been some supposed leaks, which show us that FBI, open up! And of course, what would a new Gundam anime be without some new stuff to buy? And this time, they really came in swinging. First up, let's look at the high-grade 1/144th scale G-Quax. It is slated for a January 17th release, goes for 2,200 yen, 16 US, and comes with some seriously good articulation and a lot of accessories. There's two heads, one with the V-fin stored and one with the V-fin deployed, a set of open hands, a set of holding hands, a shield, a beam rifle, a Heat Hawk of all things, and two very uniquely shaped beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts. In June, you'll also be able to get the GQuuuuuX as an FW Gundam Converge figure for 693 yen, 5 US, or if you want to go all out, There will also be a Metal Robot Spirits figure in August, which goes for a whopping 22,000 yen, 146 US. It comes with pretty much the same accessories as the high grade, and it will also be a regular release. For our 3 main characters then, in January, they'll become available as 2 kinds of prize items, being acrylic stands and plushies. In April, they'll become available as plushie keychains for 2,200 yen each, 15 US, and in May, they'll become Figuarts minifigures for 3,520 yen each, 23 US. But wait, there's more. In January, you can also get this big plush Haro as a prize item, or these keychains of Haro, Conti, or the Lieutenant for 1,760 yen, 12 US. And if you look carefully, the Lieutenant is a keychain that Machu has on her backpack. In February, there will be an Ichiban Kuji collaboration. In April, you can get another plush Haro for 2,750 yen, 18 US, or a plush Conti for 3,300 yen, 22 US. In May, you can get this Machu prize figure, and then in early spring, GDX will be joining Arsenal Base. Not only will the series get its own booster set, but you'll also be able to get the GQuuuuuX Bandai Namco Passport, which is the card that you need to save your progress on Bandai Namco arcade games. And you'll also be able to get one with the RX-78-2, the Zeta Gundam, the Calibarn, or one with an as of yet unknown design, meaning that it's either going to be the main antagonist's mobile suit or the upgraded GQuuuuuX. And that is all that we know so far. So let me know down below, what are you the most excited about? And what do you think about the name? Are you gonna pronounce it G-Quax because it's funny? Or are you gonna go with something more cool like GQuuuuuX? As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow with more Gundam news.